Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Sophie Erber.
And I'm Tim Seaman. It's a rite of passage for most college students heading back to school these days. Dorm move-in day. Always exciting. Many students at Briarcliff University spent their morning doing just that, but with some new safety guidelines in place. And that's our top story right now at 6. University allowing students participating in fall sports and transfer students to start their move-in process. The university also permitting just 2 people to help students move in this year, a measure to help limit the number of people coming in and out of those buildings. Everyone entering the dorms was also encouraged to wear a face mask. Briarcliff will welcome 200 incoming freshmen next week. The university says the class of 2024 will be the biggest incoming class they've had over the past few years. Many parents across Siouxland are concerned about how the pandemic could be affecting their child. As school districts welcome students back, kids can be experiencing new fears or anxiety with altered schedules, wearing a mask, and a focus on sanitization, along with health experts saying that now is a great time to start the conversation with your child about how they feel going back to school. KCAU 9 News spoke with a child counselor to learn some new tactics.
We need to understand that the pandemic will cause some mental distress for people, particularly for children. The social isolation is the largest part of that. So returning back to socialization is important, and should be supported safely.
Then shares now is the perfect time for parents to focus on their own mental health too, getting in a healthy diet, exercise, and a good amount of sleep.
As Iowa surpasses 51,000 total cases of COVID-19, Siouxland continues to list minimal cases. Woodbury County health officials listing just 10 additional cases of COVID-19 today. Meanwhile, a total of 114 new tests were given. Out of Nebraska, Dakota County reports 4 additional cases, while the state now lists 30,000. And from South Dakota tonight, Union County has 30 active cases, Yankton County 37, and across the state, more than 10,000 total cases are now listed.
Siouxland bars and restaurants once again feeling the pressure of the pandemic, with conferences like the Big Ten and the Pac-12 now postponing their seasons.
Yeah, that's right. KCAU 9 News reporter Lydia Vasquez tonight sharing the impact those cancellations will have on local sports bars and how they plan to make up for it.
Tim, Sophie, for sports bars like this one, business was just on the rebound. Now with the Big Ten and the Pac-12 conferences postponing their season, sports bars are left having to figure out what to do next.
We don't have the backing for things like this. I mean, we kind of, live just like everybody else. We work week by week, and we have a good week, great, we pay the bills. We don't have a so great week, then now what? Now where do we get that money from?
Lupe Gonzalez is the owner of Don's Sports Bar and Grill. He says since the start of the pandemic, his business has taken one hit after another.
What do we do from here? Do we cut back our employees again? How does it look for them? Look for these times of football season, college, NFL, which a lot of people like to come and enjoy, but so now what?
Like Don's Sports Bar, the Wheelhouse Bar and Grill is also finding ways to adapt.
We need live sports. We need sports, and we're trying to keep things fun and energetic. College football is so popular, especially in the Midwest. With the Big Ten canceling, all of our local schools will be down, and with the Pac-12 too, two of the 5 major conferences. So we are just extremely hopeful that the SEC, the Big 12, and the ACC will continue to play.
Bob Rowe, owner of Bob Rowe's Point After, says they're also banking on other conferences to continue their season to bring in lost revenue.
I was disappointed, really disappointed. Thank God the Big 12 is going to try to play in our area, but it's going to impact us quite a bit.
Each business I spoke with says their top priority now is getting people back into the building. They're creating new specials and incentives to make up for the loss college football typically brings in. Reporting from Don's Sports Bar and Grill, Lydia Vasquez, KCAU 9 News.
And while many retailers have been hit hard during the pandemic as well, Americans are starting to get back to the more typical shopping habits. A new Commerce Department report today says U.S. retail sales rose 1.2%. After slumping to a 7-year low in April, retail sales bounced back to their pre-pandemic level in just a few months. However, the report showed gas stations, department stores, and clothing retailers are still operating far below their normal levels. And economists warn retail sales could slow down once again in the coming months. That could be because enhanced benefits, which have been boosting sales, expired at the end of July.
The losses continue to mount in central and eastern Iowa as 10 million acres of farmland remain flattened in the wake of Monday's violent storm. The damage potentially causing a multi-billion-dollar hit to Iowa's corn crop. Some of those acres belonging to a Woodward, Iowa couple who were hit especially hard by the storm. They were out working when they say the sky began to quickly grow dark. Now their grain bins and their sheds and their barns are all scattered across the land.
You pulled into home and, I mean, cattle barns are gone, the grain bins are gone. It's like a tree on top of the house, and all our big mature trees are laying down on the ground. And
you know, stuff we built for the last 40 years, just 20, 25 minutes, you know, gone.
Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds in Cedar Rapids today addressing folks there, expressing her desire to get a presidential disaster declaration signed to help Iowans that were so severely impacted.
I want Cedar Rapids and Lynn County and all of those that have been impacted by this natural disaster to know that the entire state of Iowa stands with you. And the full resources of state government are here to support your local recovery efforts until this community, this county, and our state are back up and running.
Another hard-hit area is Ames. Electricity has now been restored to about 80% of the electrical customers in Ames. Check out these numbers. According to Alliant Energy, 68,000 customers in Lynn County are without power. That number grows to 122,000 across eastern Iowa. More than 700 crews are now working to get customers out of the dark, and they need to replace more than 2,500 poles to do that. That's something that normally takes 8 months to do. Alliant Energy says that power should be fully back on by midnight next Tuesday at the latest.
Oh, prayers with those people. They are dealing with a lot tonight. And let's check in now with meteorologist Scott Larson for a look at the forecast. Looks like we got some severe weather of our own moving through.
Right, we have had some isolated severe thunderstorms this afternoon, Sophie. Not quite on the same level as that derecho, which plugged through the area, but still fairly strong in spots. As we look at the radar now, you can see that those storms have weakened some versus earlier this afternoon. And the strongest at this point is currently happening right along the border of Woodbury and Monona counties. Still the potential of some small hail and heavy downpours as that storm shifts in toward Smithland. We do have a continuation of a severe thunderstorm watch that lasts until 8 o'clock this evening. Once the storms pass, we should expect to have a beautiful weekend. We'll have more coming up with the 9 on 9 forecast. Tim?
All right, thanks a lot.
Well, as the final days of this year's Sturgis Motorcycle Rally approach, the need for masks and social distancing continues to be a debate.
And despite the efforts of several businesses in Sturgis, folks following those health protocols seem far and few between. Andrew Lee Penwell now reports.
Many stores in Sturgis have signs encouraging social distancing and mask use, but neither are mandated. A New Jersey man says he wears a mask because he has underlying health concerns, and he promised his family to wear one. He also agrees with Governor Kristi Noem's approach.
She's leaving the choice to the people, and I believe it should be the choice of the people. It shouldn't be mandated. People should be educated, and people should make their own mind up to wear a mask. If they don't want to wear a mask and they contract the virus, it's on them.
Another biker who was not wearing a mask at the time I spoke with him only wears one at certain times.
As a matter of fact, today we're outside, and the biggest thing, I've just come from a ride, and we're getting ready to leave again. So any restaurant stuff we did, but anything outside we did not.
An Arizona woman says while wearing a mask is an inconvenience, people should be wearing them to prevent the virus from spreading.
I would just say that wear them. I mean, it is an inconvenience, but if you can prevent COVID from spreading, then wear them. Because if they feel that we need to wear them, I think we should.
One Siouxland school district is trying to help make the transition back to school a little easier for their elementary school students.
It's a Hinton mother who has stepped up to make buttons for each staff member to wear on their shirt. It's a measure to help students see the smiling face that's hidden under those face masks and shields. Kathy Rhodes says that with the district's current Return to Learn plan, staff will be required to wear masks. Children will be encouraged to do the same.
The masks are a bit of a distraction and they can't see emotion. So the buttons will help them see that smiling face and know that there is a friendly face under that.
Rhodes shares teachers are incorporating a new lesson this year, teaching students how to read eye expressions. It's a measure to help students adjust to feeling more comfortable communicating through those masks that folks will be wearing.
Issues that you don't think about, but that is true. You know, when just seeing someone smile or a friend passing in the hallway, they won't.
It's just so blank.
Yeah, it'll be so different.
It's strange. The reopening of many Iowa schools has caught the attention of a top White House coronavirus task force member.
We catch up with Dr. Debra Burks as she contemplates her Heartland tour coming up in about 9 minutes.
And there's still some energy out there to create a handful of severe storms this evening. A quiet pattern looks to follow with some cooler and less humid weather for next week. Your 9 on 9 forecast coming up next.
You're watching KCAU 9 News with Tim Seaman, Sophie Erber, Chief Meteorologist Scott Larson, and Sports Director Jake Jones. This is KCAU 9 News at 6.
Race relations. It's a conversation both across the country and here in Siouxland.
So join us for a conversation and discussion with community leaders on where we are and how we compare to other areas.
Race relations in Siouxland. A candid conversation Thursday on SiouxlandProud.com. Welcome back. White House Coronavirus Task Force Coordinator Dr. Debra Burks is currently focusing on the pandemic in the heartland states.
She stopped in Iowa Thursday to meet with state health officials. As Laura Terrell reports, she's also weighing in now on the state's coronavirus response.
She is the face of the White House Coronavirus Task Force, and Thursday, Dr. Debra Burks stopped in Iowa as part of her Heartland tour. She spoke exclusively with KCCI.
Are you concerned about the numbers here?
You know, we're concerned about all of the states in the heartland, and that's why we're on this Heartland tour. We've seen that in general, Iowa's made a lot of progress, but also seems to be stalled at sort of a very steady state of new cases.
Can Iowa schools open safely?
Well, the plans I saw today were very comprehensive. And I think there's really an alliance between the educators and the Department of Education and the Department of Public Health.
We asked Dr. Burks when she believes schools should move to online instruction. The World Health Organization says at a 5% positivity rate, but state health officials say school districts can apply to go virtual if their county has a 15% positivity rate over 14 days, along with 10% of students absent.
Is our state taking a big risk by having that high of a threshold?
You really have to know both the numerator and the denominator, how many people were tested. And what I talked to the Department of Health about is you're still testing a lot of people with symptoms. And so expanding your testing to really find those asymptomatic cases, you have to do more testing. That will decrease your test positivity rate.
As schools return, Dr. Burks has a stern warning for college students in Iowa. She says their actions will play a big role in asymptomatic spread of the virus.
They can't be gathering in bars, and there has to be consequences for house parties because we want to be able to keep the Iowans K through 12 in school.
Now, Iowa State is in the midst of planning its upcoming football season.
But what will they do in regards to the fans? It's another possible problem spot. Jake has the options next in sports.